Hello friends, welcome back. So we will move on with the fifth section, which will be installing Oracle software and database. Okay, so let's move on. So what we have done so far. So we have completed the installation of Grid software. Now the ASM is running on both the servers. Those instances are not clustered. It means that there is a single instance database on 201, as you can see the IP address, and there is single instance ASM on 202. We are actually configuring the data guard, and for that reason we don't need a clustered environment currently. We are not configuring rack to rack data guard here. Okay, our storage will be ASM, and for that reason we installed the standalone databases. Okay, standalone ASM. Now let us check the instances first, the ASM instance. So I'll check on both the nodes. So we see that there is one ASM instance running here. We can copy and paste it there as well. So on both nodes there is instance running, ASM instance running. Now the scenario is we need to actually make sure to have a baseline to start configuring the physical standby database. And for that reason, what we need to set up here is we need to install the Oracle software on both the nodes, okay, 201 and 202. For the first server, that is 201, we will install the database as well. That will create a baseline. So for first server, there will be an instance and the database running, and for the second 202 server, there will be only software installed. If you are thinking that why not database, we are configuring a standby database on this server. To actually create a standby database, what we will do is we will use the rman and rman duplication command to copy everything, copy all the data files, okay, and the log files from the first server, that is primary server, and copy it to, okay, and duplicate it to the database, that is 202. Okay, so we will create a standby database. That's done. As soon as the replica or the mirror copy is created on the 202 server, that is another database. Okay, so it will be called standby database. There will be instance running standby. We will see that. After that, we will use some specific parameters which we will see in detail to configure this particular database to physical standby database so that it receives the redo logs from the primary server and apply it on the standby server, that is 202. Okay, that is how it is called standby. And in future we will configure logical standby, we will configure data guard broker, we will configure snapshot standby. So we will see what all things will roll on. Okay, so first of all, what we will need to configure is, or what do we need to install is the database software, okay, on both the nodes. So let's see if the software is there on this directory. So no, that software is also not transferred. Let me check on this server as well. So no, let's open the WinSCP and transfer the files. As you all must be knowing about what is WinSCP. WinSCP is the software freely available to transfer the files from the Windows environment to the Linux environment on the specific locations and specific directory structure. So let me do that. Go back. Okay, and we will go to Oracle. Okay, and we will paste this. I have already downloaded the 12.2 software, so I'll just copy and paste it here. We will wait for this. I'll come back as soon as this is transferred. Okay, now as you can see that I have transferred the files into both the machines. You can do at your home as well and follow along. Okay, I didn't wanted to make you guys wait. For that reason I did not show that part. I paused the video. So let's move on. Let me list it. So we will see one file available on both the servers. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to first of all unzip it. It will be unzipped into the database directory. Let it run. Unzip the same on the other one. So both of them are done. Let's clear the screen. Okay, let's navigate to the database directory. Let's list it and run the run installer binary. Do it here. You can do both of them in parallel. If you have a proper memory and the resources in your laptop or computer, you can run both of them together. That's what I do. So just navigate to here and just do the run installer. Okay, just wait for some moments. The first one is here. You can actually differentiate between primary and standby by the name on the top, right? It is saying primary dot local domain, and the second one is coming up. Just a moment. Okay, and the standby dot local domain. That's how we can actually differentiate which one is running. So first of all, we need to install the software. No database yet. Okay, we will install the database later. Install the software here. Single instance database, as we all know, this is not a rack database. I will teach about how to set up rack to rack data guard, but that is for the future, not now. Let's move on. Use the enterprise edition. Go ahead. Now here you need to stop and think about what you need to configure. Okay, so for me, Oracle base will be /oracle/base, and the database software location or database home, you can call it, will be this. Okay, Oracle base product 1220 DB. Okay, for this particular series, to set up the basic data guard, okay, we are not actually creating a different directory structures on both the environment. Otherwise you need to play around with the parameters. Okay, so currently what we will be doing is we will be making sure the directory structures are created in the same way as in the standby. Okay, so everything should be same. So this, make sure this is same. Okay, whatever name you want to put, but the thing is both of them should be same. That's what I am doing. Okay, leave that whatever it is here. Let's move on with the standby as well. Say yes. Install the software. Single instance database, same thing. Okay, /oracle /base, and here we will just remove the home, and everything looks to be same. Okay, let it performs the pre-checks or prerequisite checks. Everything should be fine. Let's run the installation on both of them. Now in some moments, maybe in around 1.5 or 2 minutes, and according to your resources, both of these installers will prompt you to run the scripts, which is root.sh. Okay, so we need to make sure to run each scripts from each server, right, using the root account. Okay, so I will show you what I mean by this. Okay, so when you see this part, execute root scripts or execute root scripts, both of them will have a separate root scripts to run. It will ask you to run using the root account. So log in using the root account to that server in 201 and 202 and run whatever script you are asked to run. Okay, now you can see that the installer is asking to run root.sh in both the machines. Okay, so let's connect using the root account. connect the second one as well. Now we will go one by one. So this is a primary. Just Control C, paste it, run it, enter, and I will say TFA to be installed. Yes, let it install. And now for the second one, no, this is not the second one. This is the second one. Enter. Yes. It will take some moments to install, maybe around 1.5 minutes for both of them. And at that moment, we are done with the 202, okay, as the base to create physical standby. This should be done. So we currently do not need this particular server, okay, the second one. But now let's shift our focus to the primary one, and we need to install the database. But the issue currently is, just a second. So the primary is done. Maybe some specific part is left. Okay, so just cancel it. It's done. Let's check the second one as well. It should be done as well. So we will disconnect from the root account. We currently don't need it. Whenever we need it, we will connect. And let's finish this as well. Now the current issue is that the ext disk which we set up earlier using the ASM is mounted, is online, okay. This is where the OCR file is set up, okay, and the cluster configuration is set up. We all know that. Now we need to eventually install the database on the 201. For that we will be needing two disks, data and FRA disk. You already know that we created two disks, okay. Now we need to present these disks to the disk group, and for that reason we need to first of all create the disk group, mount those disk groups, okay, and present these disks to the disk group, okay. So disk is a smaller entity, disk group is a bigger entity. Disk group can contain multiple disks, okay. And Oracle database, while installation or while setup, sees the disk groups, okay, not disks. You need to make sure you clear your mind for that. So to set up and to mount and create the disk groups, we need to run the ASM configuration assistant. For that we need to set up the environment variable for ASM. So you need to just say ASMCA sorry, the spelling mistake, ASM. Just wait for a moment. We will see the installer file, or you can call it the graphical user interface, not the installer file, okay. So this is ASM configuration assistant. We needed to first set up the environment variable for ASM and then run ASMCA. Now you need to see the disk group. Currently there is ext disk group where the cluster configurations are installed. Now there is one ASM instance, because this is not a clustered environment, okay. One ASM instance is running on 201. So what we need to do is we need to create disk group. So first disk group will be data. There will be no redundancy, okay. There is no mirroring. We will select disk and present this disk, okay, this physical disk to the logical entity. Disk group is a logical entity which contains multiple disks. Make sure you are clear about it, okay. Say okay, let's create it. Wait for some moment, it will be done. Then we'll create a FRA disk group. So this is here, it is still not mounted, this is non-mounted state, okay. So FRA external, we will use this disk and present the disk to the disk group. We will have to do the same thing on the second machine as well. What is the reason we need to do there is because we will be setting up the standby database. All the data files will be getting stored into the data disk and FRA disk, okay? And because we are creating a replica environment, same directory structure as what is there in the primary database, okay, we need to make sure the disks are mounted, okay? Eventually we will be running the RMAN duplication, and at that moment the disks should be available so that RMAN uses that duplication commands and take the backup of the primary database files, migrate those files into the standby database, store into the proper location, okay, and start the instance. That's how everything is done. Now let's mount all the disk group, sorry. So this is done, you can close it now. Now what you need to do is, let's go to Oracle, okay. So bin location, Oracle base product dbca /dbca. We will set up the disk group later in the 202. Later means after we are done with the dbca utility. Let's wait for the installer file to come up, or this GUI, okay. So we need to create the database. We need to select the advanced configuration. We will name the database as primary to make sure we recognize during the standby databases, okay, during the standby setup. We will not be creating a multi-tenant environment currently, but in future lectures we will be seeing how to install Oracle Data Guard in multi-tenant environment, okay. So let's uncheck this. This will be treated as non-container environment. The data files location is incorrect here. Need to select data, remove the DB unique name. Eventually it's going to take the DB unique name. Make sure the files are OMF based files, Oracle managed files. This is where the Oracle decides the directory structure under plus data. So it will put the DB unique name, and under that it will be putting all the files, okay, accordingly. A lot easier to do the backups, recoveries and all those part, okay. So Oracle takes care of directory structure without us being touching all those part, because it can become very complicated if you have a lot of directories, right? So you have to manage a lot of directories. But in OMF, as we all must be knowing, because we are DBS, right, OMF will help you to negate that complexity of maintaining the directory structure. You just mention the initial part of it and it will take care of everything, including naming convention and everything, okay. So let's move on. Specify the fast recovery area, and we will enable the archiving as well. It will be using it is using incorrect disk. We have to use FRA, okay. So whatever disk you are selecting, make sure it's proper. It will select the listener which is running, and we must be knowing that in standalone a non clustered environment, okay. So I'm actually referring to when you are installing ASM, during that particular setup you need to install the grid, right? And for that reason, when you are installing the grid software, because listener and database is an entity or resource of cluster, okay, that is CRS, that is cluster ready services, okay. And for that reason the listener will run from the grid home and not from the Oracle software home. in normal environment where you are storing your data files in the file system, not in the ASM, you will see the difference being that the listener will be running from the Oracle database software home. Okay, so that is a small difference, but it needs to be clear in your mind. Okay, and for that reason listener is up from, you can see it here, the port is 1521 and it is running from the Oracle home, which is ASM home. Okay, that's what the environment variable, okay, is. Everything looks fine, don't need these options. Leave that whatever configuration is here and add the sample schemas. Let's move on. Uncheck this box, we don't need to install Enterprise Manager. Set up the password, make sure you remember the passwords. Let's install the database. Now you can see that because this is not a rack cluster, after installation, right, you will see during the database duplication, when the database is duplicated here, right, when we will do ps-eaf pipe grep pmon, you will see that the instance is running, but when you restart the server, the standby server, right, you will not see that the database is up automatically even though the ASM is up. So to register the database, right, after duplication, because currently after the duplication the cluster CRS still doesn't know and haven't yet registered as database as an entity of itself. Okay, so when you restart the server completely, you will see that ASM has come up but the database has not come up. And then this is where the Oracle restart feature comes into, your rescue, where you need to run the srvctl utility and register that duplicated database to the cluster resource as a cluster resource. As soon as you register that, now cluster actually knows and CRS actually knows that this is my resource. Okay, and I have to restart the database or start the database automatically as soon as the server is up, right? So you don't need to worry about starting the database again and again. This is what the restart calls. Okay, I will show you, because currently this is automatic on the primary server, because this particular tool is taking care of everything. It is first registering the database, right? Whatever database is being set up here, it is automatically registering using the srvctl utility at the background. But after the duplication on the standby database, when we will do the armand duplication, you will see that the database has not been yet been registered, and for that reason you need to run the srvctl utility on the secondary and register the database. I can actually show you now. Let me see if I can show you before we move on, because the Oracle restart has already been completed. So what we will do, we will set up the environment plus ASM. Okay, we will say CRS-CTL status resource -t. You will see that the data disk, the ext disks, the FRA disk is up. Listener is running from, as we all know, it is running from the grid home. Okay, ASM is up. ONS don't need to worry about, but you see that when we ran CRS-CTL utility, this is cluster utility. Okay, CRS-CTL, when you run that, it will show you what all resources are running. Okay, which is managed by the upper stack, which is CRS. Okay, it is managing database as well. Currently it is offline because we are still in the installation phase, but eventually you will see that online. Let me run it again if we see that something is different. Okay, so it is still setting it up, but when you do the armand duplication here on the standby 202, okay, and when you run CRS-CTL, you will see that the database is up and running, but the database is not registered. You need to register it so that it shows up on the 202 as well as or.standby.db, right? I hope I'm making you guys clear about it. So now what we needed to do is we need to run the ASMCA as well on the standby. Let's check if it has come up. No. So we are currently focusing on 202, okay? And on 201 the database is getting installed. So we will wait for that. Until then we will set up the disk groups. Create the disk group. Use these disks and create a data disk group. Present this physical disk, okay, to the data disk group, okay. We will create another one as well. Create FRA, present it to FRA disk group. The name can be anything, but it needs to be, making sense, right? While installation, you don't want to get confused between which disk I am using or what you are doing, okay? Need to make sure everything is clear, and make sure that you need to mount all the disks, otherwise you won't see the disks available during the installation. So now this part is done, so we no need to worry about anything now. So just wait for some moment for the database to be installed. See, it is starting now. So we are in starting phase, okay. Now the target is changed, it has changed to online, and the current state is offline, but it will eventually come up. We will see it again. I think it is online now. See, it is reading from the Oracle Home. It is stable. So database is up. So see, installation has been completed. The server parameter file in the disk is in the disk group, not in the file system now. Okay, because we are storing all the data files under ASM, not in the file system. That is what this course is about. So this part has been done. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular section. I will also show the process running. Okay, we can connect to the database SQL plus /shdb. Okay, so everything is fine. Thank you very much for watching.